Black Mountains, winter 2023. It is a cold and harsh winter's night. The mountains are covered by a thick blanket of freezing snow, and a blizzard is currently falling, accompanied by a strong and bitter westward wind. The wind howls, but there is no one in this inhospitable place that can hear it. Or so we think. Appearing as specks in the distance and walking out onto the snow-covered moors are two people. A young woman, Lucy, and a young man, Gary. Their hands are stuffed in their pockets, and cold breath visibly leaves their mouths as they walk across the dark and freezing moors as the heavy snow continues to fall.
The snow is so thick. Do you think we'll even find it?
We've come all this way. I'm not leaving until we do, Gary.
Yeah, I know. But it must be 2 feet deep.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
Hey, wait up!
Can you keep up?
Wesley!
Shh! Keep it quiet.
What, like someone's going to hear us?
This is military ground. We're trespassing. Who knows what radar devices or spyware they have here? They may even have troops patrolling.
Sorry,
Just keep up. We have to move together.
Okay, what direction?
It says on the map this way.
Lucy, did your sister ever talk about this place?
No, never. She was just writing stories for conspiracy magazines. This base was the last one on her list.
Before she disappeared?
Yes. This sketch map was the only thing I could find at her flat. I think her friend Sinead drew it.
The other girl who disappeared here?
Yeah. They visited here and they never came back.
This blizzard. Freezing. How much further is it?
This way.
They continue to trudge through the thick snow. Billions of snowflakes fall constantly around them. As they venture further across the moors, they start to hear some strange sounds, which seem to follow them.
Do you hear that?
What was it?
Sounds like footsteps. Movement.
I heard something too.
Where is it?
It was from over there, in the darkness.
Let's just find this hatchet and get out of here, yeah?
It's this way, come on. The map points somewhere here. We're between two peaks. And look, there's tracks there leading away.
Hang on. They start from nowhere and they lead off away. But where do they come from?
They look like big footprints, not shoes or...
As they talk, the falling snow slowly covers over the tracks more and more. Lucy finds the first track and plunges her hand deep into the snow.
I've got something.
What?
It's a handle to a hatch. It's heavy though. It will take a couple of us to lift it.
It's open.
The heavy metal hatch swings open, and as the freezing wind blows, they all peer into the dark tunnel below.
This is it. This is where Laura came to.
Yeah. This is where her and Sinead were looking for.
I wonder what they found here.
The hatch suddenly falls forward, slamming shut loudly.
Jesus!
Shit! Someone's gonna have to wait up here as we go in.
What?
In case it closes behind us. We don't want to get trapped in there. That thing weighs a ton.
Wesley, wait here.
You what? It's freezing.
We won't be long. Relax. Keep an eye out.
We won't be long, Wesley.
They step onto the stairs leading into the tunnel and disappear into the darkness. Wesley stands shivering, leaning against the metal door. The snow continues to fall. Deep underground, at the end of the dark tunnel, Gary and Lucy push open a metal door and peer into the dark room. They peer into the dust and the darkness.
What is it?
Looks like a laboratory. Looks like it's not been used for a while.
What's with the yellow lights?
It's ultraviolet light.
Let's look around.
Maybe your sister came down here.
Maybe she's still here.
They enter a long and dark room which is in a state of ruin. Along the wall is a series of cages with metal bars. 2 of the cages are empty and open. Gary accidentally leans on a switch, and the two empty cage doors automatically close.
What was that?
Sorry. There's a switch here. It closed the doors.
Why were these two cages open and all the others closed?
I think I can see why.
They peer into the 3 closed cages and see the shredded remains of different sorts of animals.
They look like they've been eaten.
Torn apart, more like.
What was that?
What?
I heard something moving.
Where?
In that last cage.
It's empty. I don't hear anything.
That's strange.
Let's check out that other room.
They move off down the corridor and past the cages filled with the dead animal carcasses. Something is eerie. Something isn't right. They open a door, and in the next room, they make a grisly discovery.
Oh, God.
Jesus!
It looks like soldiers or guards.
They're all dead.
Torn apart, too. What the hell happened here?
I'd hate to guess. You don't think your sister found something like this, do you?
God, I hope not. This is where she came to, so I don't know.
Yeah, we came for answers. All we've got is more questions.
My sister never spoke of any secret animal experiments. She was searching for a top-secret aircraft.
We're looking at these guards' bodies. Something's ripped through here like a whirlwind, killing the men and whatever specimens they had in the other cages.
There's another door over there.
Jesus. What could be behind door number 3?
Another tunnel.
Oh, God. It's going deeper into the mountain. This place must be huge.
Whatever did this, it could be down there.
Well, I don't know what we should do, really.
What about those footprints in the snow? The ones leading away from here. They didn't look like shoe or boot prints.
Who could have the strength to open that hatch on their own?
Outside, Wesley shivers as he holds the metal door open and the blizzard of snow continues to fall around him.
Come on, guys. What's taking so long?
As he stands freezing, he looks up at the dark sky and sees a break in the heavy clouds, and a bright full moon starts peering out. Then Wesley hears footsteps.
Who's there?
There comes no answer. Just more heavy footsteps circling him in the cold darkness. Wesley hears a deep and hoarse, heavy breathing, almost a growl. It grows, slowly, louder and louder. Above, the moon shines brightly, and then the thick snow clouds start to slowly cloak back over it again. Suddenly, Wesley is grabbed. He can't see anything, but he feels long, sharp teeth sink into his neck, and his warm blood as it flows out and down over him. As the clouds slowly cover and reclaim the moon, the invisible wolf-like creature which sinks its fangs into Wesley's neck suddenly begins to appear. Its special silver fur, which turns invisible in moonlight, slowly becomes visible again, and the creature, the Silverhide, bites down again and again, quickly finishing its meal. Down inside the lab,
Did you hear that?
I heard something. Wesley?
they hear movement again in the last empty cage, and Gary walks around, peering in through the metal bars.
What is that?
I don't like this.
Something is in there.
But it's empty.
I know, but I can hear breathing and movement.
Lucy reads through the digital writing on the side of the cage as Gary peers through the bars.
Specimen Silverhide. Caution, dangerous. Member of the wolf family. Has special unknown fur which reacts to moonlight and ultraviolet light, which renders it invisible.
Something is moving in there.
Lucy sees a series of light switches on the wall as Gary pushes the switch which opens the cage.
Gary, no!
The cage door opens as Lucy switches the ultraviolet lights off. Under the normal lights, Lucy sees the 7-foot-tall creature, which has been standing there all along, invisible, watching them and just waiting to pounce. The Silverhide tears through Gary in seconds and then turns its deadly gaze towards Lucy. There is no escape. Out on the moors as the snow continues to fall and the wind blows, we hear a terrifying scream. As the scream echoes across the desolate and empty hills, the heavy hatch door falls and slams shut, extinguishing it. Vatra Domi, Romania, 1897. It is a sad day, as a cold and persistent wind blows through the valley, lifting autumn leaves and moving trees and branches. A funeral is taking place. A coffin is being lowered slowly into the ground. Beside it are a handful of mourners, including a young married couple, Eva and Bernard Luca.
Bernard, my grandmother. She used to be so strong, so beautiful, elegant when I was a child.
I am sorry. It is a sad loss, my Eva.
Life. I don't see why it has to be this way. Why must we lose all that we are and have?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Gypsies in the village have told me stories about the castle up in the mountains, about counts and earls living beyond their years.
Tradat Karsi, Eva, that place is damned. Everyone knows that you are not to venture there, never.
But the whispers have mentioned magic and the promise of eternal life there. I've heard too many stories for there to all be lies.
Eva, stop now. That place is cursed with darkness and damnation.
I want to go there, to see if it is true.
You are not to go there, Eva. Never.
I'm sorry, my love. I must go there and see for myself if such wonders exist. You'll understand when I return with the wisdom and power they might possess.
The cold wind continues to blow down from the dark mountains as Eva, carrying only small supplies, starts the treacherous journey up into the snow-covered peaks towards Tradat Castle.
Bernard, my love, you think I'm visiting our relatives, but when I return with the secrets, you'll be so pleased with me.
Eva climbs up the slopes, feeling the wind on her face and a slight twitch of fear in her heart, which she ignores. She makes her way slowly up into the mist-filled peaks. As she gets higher and higher, the slopes get steeper and more treacherous. There are cracks and ravines as she walks a centuries-old pathway, which few have had the courage to ever walk. She reaches snow-capped mountain tops, and the ominous Tradat Castle looms above her in the distance. As she walks, she hears the sound of wolves howling, their cries startling her and raising the hairs on the back of her neck.
Keep going, Eva. Nearly there.
A strong wind bombards the ancient stone wall of the castle as Eva reaches the castle entrance. Fearfully, She knocks on the huge wooden door. There comes no answer. But after a few moments, the large oak door slowly opens.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Good evening.
You startled me.
I apologize. I wasn't expecting anyone tonight.
Excuse me, sir. I have come unannounced. I wish to speak to whoever is in occupants here.
I am Count Abel Sel Tradat, heir to Tradat Castle. How may I be of service?
I am Eva. I have traveled here to speak to you, learn things, and unlock life's secrets.
Eva, come inside. A tall grandfather clock against the wall ticks as the blizzard of snow lashes the window. Many old paintings line the tall walls, and candles light the darkness. Eva sits nervously opposite Count Abel at an old, dark oak table. Outside, the storm rages. What secrets of life did you want to know, Eva?
The gypsies in the village, they spoke of your family, how generations of Seltradettes have lived for many, many years. I've also heard whispers. Whispers that say you are immortal, that you defy aging and death.
It is true. My ancestors have lived within these old stone walls for centuries. That we have survived all the plagues and perils that time and decay can bestow.
But is it true? Have you conquered death? Do you live longer than most? Have you reached immortality?
Eva, what is it you desire?
I don't want to get old. I don't want to age, to become frail, to die. I want to stay young and potent forever.
Eva, such things shouldn't be wished for.
But if they were possible,
The creatures of the night have this power, Eva. They are the ones who can live as long as the stars in the night's sky, to not age, to never die.
tell me about them. How do I learn this magic?
Not magic, my child.
Show me then. Teach me.
The Count leads her up onto the castle turrets as the moon shines down from above and thunder booms.
What secrets do you wish to show me, Count?
I will show you such sights, my child, if you say you truly want to see them.
Show me.
The Count sinks his sharp teeth deep into Ava's soft neck and starts fiendishly drinking her warm and dark blood. You will start to feel faint. You will feel weak. But then, you will feel strong. Like an animal. You will only come out at night, but you will live as long as the stars in the night's sky above, and you will never grow old.
What the devil is this? Eva, my God, it's you. Eve, where have you been?
Bernard, my love. I have returned. I am back and I have such secrets to share with you.
Where have you been?
I went to the castle.
You what?
I went, Bernard. I visited the castle, I saw the Count. He told me about the magic, about the dark secrets of life.
Eva, you were not supposed to go there.
But it's okay. I've got the gift. The gift of eternal life,
Eva, you are cold. Your skin is cold. You are pale and so cold.
What is it, my dear? Bernard! Bernard!
You are the undead. The unholy. Eva, what have you done? Cursed. You are damned, Eva. Get out of here. I do not invite you in.
Bernard! Bernard!
Go away. Get away. You are damned, Eva.
Bernard, it's a mistake!
My Eva, what have you done?
Bernard banished me from the village, from his life. I was deemed cursed, a scourge on anyone I met. Damned, a creature of the night. So I left. I joined the other night hunters in the mountains, out with the wolves, living off travelers and the blood of the lost and the lonely. I was immortal, and as the years slowly started to pass, I got used to only seeing the moon and the black night sky. I roamed and visited every place I'd ever wanted to visit in the world, finally settling on Paris to taste the high life. I dined on the wealthy and the beautiful. I remained beautiful and virile. I feasted on handsome young men. I drank and drank until my cup overflowed. But after decades of decadence, I yearned to travel again, and I went back east. Something was missing. I had youth, beauty, wealth, immortality, but yet something was missing. And then a strange twist of fate befell me as I traveled through my country of origin. I stumbled across a carriage carrying a stricken old man. I pounced and threw open the doors and saw a frail old man staring back at me. It was Bernard.
Who are you?
Bernard, is that you? You are so old and frail.
Who are you, young lady? Do I know you?
It was Bernard, my love. But he was old and frail, aged, and he was dying.
I am ill, young lady. I'm dying. I want to see my family one last time before I pass.
Your family?
Yes, I have a wonderful wife, 3 children and 2 grandchildren.
You had a family?
I lived a wonderful life, my dear. I had a lovely family and watched them grow up, and now I'm old and about to pass. I have no regrets, only fulfillment, and I'm at peace with my death as I've lived a lovely life. I bid you farewell.
He closed the carriage door in my face and rode off into the night. He didn't even recognize me, the beautiful woman he once loved. I had nothing. I was alone, and what was once the blessing of immortality was now a curse.
Eva, what brings you here again after all these years?
Count Abel, I need you to do one last thing for me.
What?
I need you to release me. Release me from this curse.
Eva, you have everything you desire. You have your youth, your strength, your beauty. You will live forever.
I have nothing! Nothing! Please, release me from this curse, Count. Please.
Okay. Eva suddenly gasps and cries out. I drive this stake through your heart, Eva. It will free your spirit and save your soul. Eva gasps and cries. The banging sound continues, and Eva's gasp gets slowly quieter and quieter until all we can hear is the soft wind. countryside, among sprawling hills and open valleys, and beside a long and twisting railway track, rests a run-down and ramshackled signal box. Its rotten wooden beams barely hold it together under the onslaught of another snowstorm. 5 in as many days. Normal for the unassuming town of Tarka's End. A dim light illuminates the windows as large flakes of snow lash against them, and inside we can see the outlines of 2 figures. Inside, as the cold wind howls, 2 middle-aged men, Stephen and Bruce, shiver, being kept warm only by the heat of an old electric heater. Stephen sits writing into a notepad, and Bruce strums an acoustic guitar, and the chords echo off into the soft whine of the wind.
Is that a new song?
No, it's an old one. Something I wrote a long time ago.
That's good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring it back into the set. I used to play it, but I dropped it a long time ago. I might put it back for the next gig.
You should. It's still not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
You're kidding me, playing stuff like that.
World's changed, man. I've sent out to record labels, agents, everyone. What about you? Huh? You not got anything published yet?
No, not yet.
Do you think there ever will be a yet?
I don't know.
I mean, what are we doing here? We've both been doing this for years, and we both haven't got anywhere. Are we at that point?
What point is that?
The point where it's all over, you know?
Well,
I mean, you're 45. I'm nearly 50. When is it over? When is it too late? Is it already too late?
Have you given it your best?
My best work?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe 10 years ago when I had a full band. You know, we really kicked it large. We rocked it, man. Do you remember that night at the Windsor Club? You were there. We got the headline there for one night. That was great. We rocked it.
Yeah.
And you?
I did some of my best novels 10 years ago when I worked nights at the bottle factory. I'd stare out of the window at 4 a.m. and, you know, really be in the zone.
What's to become of us? Is it too late for us to go back and start again? Surely life has something for us.
The door blows open, and for a moment snow swirls into the small room.
Oh, damn it!
It's a scary winter night.
You want to hear a scary story?
What's that?
The Hobbs Hill Tunnel.
Just up the tracks here.
I heard 3 of our men disappeared there last week.
Disappeared? How do you mean?
No one knows what happened, and no one's allowed to say shit.
Well, how do you know?
I overheard Stevenson on the phone in his office. Shitting a brick he was. Said there was a crack deep in the tunnel wall, and the wall had opened up. He sent 3 men down there to investigate on Friday night. They went in the tunnel, and they never came out.
Bullshit.
God's honest.
Get out of here.
You've noticed Mavers, Powers and Badger have been off on sick leave all week, right?
Yeah?
Well, there you go.
It was them.
Sounds like something right out of your stories, doesn't it?
So what was this crack they found in the tunnel?
Supposedly 20 feet long. Starts on the ground and goes up all over the wall. Has opened up, a good 2 to 3 foot wide.
And they went out to investigate and didn't come back out.
That's what I overheard. It's all been kept quiet.
Station 10, Station 10. We need one of you to check out the points at Pine Junction. They're frozen solid. You think you could dig them out by 5 a.m, please?
That's us.
Oh, Station 10. Yeah, that's a Roger. It's my turn. Oh, shit. It's 3:30 in the morning. I've got to do some digging in this blizzard.
Pine Junction. That's the other side of Hobbs Hill Tunnel as well. You're gonna cut through?
Not at this time of night.
It's another mile walk if you go the long way over the ridge.
I know. This blizzard.
Shit.
It's okay. I'm going.
Don't forget your radio.
Thanks. Damn. Just when I was coming up with a new song.
See you later.
Bruce walks down the frozen steps of the signal box into the heavy blizzard. The cold wind pounds against his coat and he raises his collar, breathing into his already cold hands. He looks down the snow-covered train tracks, seeing them snake off into the darkness of the night. He pauses, and then turns, grabbing a shovel which leans against the signal box's wall, and then heads off slowly up the tracks. Within seconds, he has disappeared into the snow and darkness. Stephen pulls his chair up closer to the small heater and picks up his radio.
Bruce? What's it like out there? Bruce?
Heavy blizzard. Visibility bad. Some tracks here need digging out too.
Roger that.
I'll call you when I get to the ridge.
Okay, we'll await your message.
Stephen puts his radio down and picks his small laptop off of the desk in front of him.
3 team members disappearing.
The cold wind continues to pound the windows. The door rattles loudly. Bruce battles through the blizzard, making his way along the snow-covered tracks. Up ahead looms the dark entrance to the Hobbs Hill tunnel. He stops in front of it and pulls his radio out.
Stephen, I'm at the tunnel entrance. I'm going to have to cut through.
What about the ridge?
It's completely snowed out. I can't go over. I'm going to have to use the tunnel.
Is it going to be okay?
I've got no choice. It's the only way.
Okay, roger that.
Bruce stares into the tunnel entrance, shining his small torch into the total darkness. He listens for any sounds, but all he can hear is the ghostly whine of the cold and bitter wind. After a few moments, he takes a deep breath and heads off into the tunnel. After a second or so, he disappears completely into the black. Back at the signal box, Stephen sits tapping at his computer as the blizzard outside continues to pound against the windows.
Mavers, Power and Badger. Mavers, 52 years old, father of 4, 15 years service, musician in his spare time.
Bruce walks slowly through the dark tunnel, his small torch only illuminating a short distance in front of him. As he walks, hearing the sound of his own footsteps echoing through the tunnel, he begins to hear strange sounds coming from the darkness ahead.
Is someone there? Hello?
His voice echoes off down the tunnel, and no reply comes to his calls. Only a ghostly wind which blows through the tunnel. On the tunnel wall slightly ahead, Bruce sees the huge crack which has opened up.
Jesus!
The sounds he hears are coming from within the crack. He pulls his radio out.
Stephen! Stephen!
You're coming through very faintly.
Stephen, I can see the crack in the tunnel. It's huge!
What's that, Bruce? I can't hear you.
Stephen, it's huge! Oh my God, Stephen! There's something coming out!
As Bruce shines his torch at the crack, 2 large slime-covered tentacles reach out, followed by a bigger and more darker shape.
Stephen! Stephen!
Before he can move, he is grabbed, and the slime-covered tentacles pull him back into the crack, where his screams disappear off into the darkness. His torch rolls across the ground, pointing right towards the dark crack, where now nothing can be seen. Stephen sits writing in his notepad, listening to the wind which still hasn't let up. He writes the last line of his new novel and takes a deep breath, collating all the loose pages together.
I finally finished it.
Stephen picks up his laptop and starts going over the names again of his missing co-workers.
Powers, 10 years of service. Painter? Badger, 7 years service, part-time singer. So all three of them were artists of some kind, unsuccessful. So what became of them?
The power suddenly cuts off, and the signal box falls into complete darkness.
Shit.
He picks up his radio.
Bruce? Bruce, can you hear me? It's Stephen. Bruce? Where the hell are you? Bruce? Bruce, we got a problem here.
Stephen leaves the dark signal box and steps out into the cold blizzard. The wind and snow hits him like an assault, and he slowly makes his way down the steps and off onto the railway tracks, heading off the way Bruce had gone. In mere moments, he has disappeared into the darkness of the night. As the blizzard continues to engulf him, Stephen reaches the tunnel entrance and stares deep into the open abyss before him.
Bruce? Bruce!
The wind howls and the snow lashes against him. Stephen waits a few moments and then crosses over the threshold and enters. Stephen walks slowly, deeper and deeper into the tunnel.
Bruce! Bruce!
His voice echoes off into the darkness, and there comes no reply. He feels the hair stand up on the back of his neck. He thinks for a second. If this were one of his novels, he would turn back. But he doesn't. He just keeps on walking. The signal on his radio dies. He is completely cut off and alone. And then he sees it. The crack is right in front of him. Stephen shines his torch up and down the huge crack. We see that it has opened up bigger.
Jeez.
Stephen gazes at the huge crack. It looks as though it has risen out of the depths of hell and made its way upwards. But for what purpose?
This ain't natural.
He looks around, sensing movement.
Bruce?
He edges towards the crack. As he moves closer, he suddenly hears strange sounds starting to come from within the crack. The sounds are eerie and grow steadily louder. Stephen walks up where he can look in, and taking a deep breath, he shines his torch over and peers in. His eyes scan through the darkness.
Mavis, Powers, Badger, and Bruce. All unsuccessful artists.
Eyes suddenly gaze up to him. Slimy tentacles and teeth-filled mouths start moving up towards him. Stephen gasps. It is a horde of dark and slimy monsters, nightmares from hell, and they crawl, climb, and pull themselves towards the surface. Before he can move, a strange and troubling thought crosses Stephen's mind.
So this is what becomes of us.
He is suddenly grabbed by tentacles, claws, and sharp teeth, and his body is dragged into the dark crack. As the strong winds batter the lonesome signal box, the door suddenly blows open and Stephen's pages of writing fly out into the blizzard. The pages take off into the wind and across the snow-covered tracks, never to be read.